Hey everybody, Glyne here with this week's Leadership Truth, which is delegate your weaknesses. Delegate your weaknesses. Okay, this might sound a little radical for those of you that are locked into organizations where you have a performance review process that makes you look at your weaknesses and tells you how to continuously, that you have to build and close the gaps around those weaknesses. Here's the thing I think about. Instead of focusing on closing up a weakness, think about how do you leverage a strength. And when it comes to your strengths, be aware though that when your strength gets overused, bummer, it can become a weakness, especially when we're stressed, right? So when we're in a mode where there's a lot of pressure on us, sometimes that's when we will over-index on whatever strengths we bring to the table, and we get into what we like to call the liability zone. One of the ways you can mitigate risk around this is to actually think proactively about how you can delegate your blind spots, how you can delegate your weaknesses. So here's an example from my own life. One of my strengths is that I am very results driven. I'm always about raising the bar. The downside to that is I'm not that great at recognition. It's not that I don't recognize my team. They would probably tell you that they feel pretty recognized, but a lot of that is because I've had to really be thoughtful about it over the years. And there's a couple of ways I do it. One, I do kind of pin things around results to make sure I'm making sure there's recognition around when we've given results, but I also will just keep my eye open for little treats and gifts and things like that as small ways to say thank you through the year. The other thing I do is I actually delegate fun and recognition to somebody on my team. I have a little social committee here at the round table that really drives more of the fun than I would ever remember to drive. I still think I could do a lot better, and there's some other things that I'm not doing that I need to start doing, but you know, it's one of the ways that I can make sure that appreciation and recognition is happening to counter my continuous need to be raising the bar and talking about what could we do better next time, right? So think about what's your towering strength, what's the potential weakness that comes along with that, and how can you delegate that to somebody on your team. It's not cheating to delegate a weakness. It actually is a way to help you round out your approach. And it also, frankly, for me, it makes me more aware of it. And I think that does help me move the needle on my behavior over time. So think about that this week. Who could you be delegating a weakness to? And I look forward to checking in with you again next week with another Leadership Truth. And if you're curious about all of the things that we talk about on the Leadership Truths, your behaviors and motivators, feel free to reach out. We've got lots of programs that can support you as you go down your own path of leadership and understand more about how you can be showing up with greater impact. Thanks so much for checking us out, and I'll see you again next week.